A singing sensation, he was working on the factory floor, never daring to dream that his tenor voice could actually pay his way, let alone that he would become one of the hottest opera stars in the world. For his new album, he's showing...
That's ridiculous.
It's true, it's true. But now he's showing that he can turn his hand, and his voice indeed, to different styles of music.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. You got a friend. Hey.
Oh, look at that. And impromptu backing chorus there, Alfie. Everyone's singing along. You're still going.
I hope you have the album.
Here it is, Trust.
Thank you.
Got it there, got it in quick. There
Thank
you
you
go.
very much.
No miss.
Is that it now?
Yeah, that's it. Oh. Yeah, see it. You're so modest. When I said one of the hottest opera stars, you went, no.
Thank you. Well, no, we were just saying I like to do all my videos in profile. So I'm going to do this interview in profile.
A dangerous. This is a departure, though, this album, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a real good direction that I feel I'm heading in. The musicians on the album are incredible. We had Booker T from Booker T and the MGs playing, and oh my goodness, he was a legend. The song on there that, is an old Bob Dylan track, Forever Young. I was recording it in the studio, and we'd done a take. We were listening to it back, and then Booker walked into the studio with his phone. He was just holding it up like that, and I said, "What are you doing, Booker?" And he said, "Oh, I've got a mate on the phone that I want him to hear this track." And I said, "Oh, who is it?" And he said, "Bob Dylan."
Brilliant.
I said, "Please turn it off. don't do that, mate."
So this is quite a departure for you. This is a completely different genre of music. Why have you gone down this path?
Well, I to be honest, it's music and it's songs that suit my voice, you know, that I love to sing. I grew up listening to lots of different types of music. I grew up listening to classical, country, blues, rock and roll, you know, the big band sound. So I never really saw any division between these areas, you know, between classical and rock. So it was music to me. There was no. There was
it's your voice. You haven't changed your singing style.
No, exactly. I still use the same technique that I trained with, you know, that I developed over the years at music college. The only thing I do sort of do is put on a bit of a Yankee twang and try and relax on the pronunciation. And
Neil, I'd like to ask you a bit about opera, because I'm passionate about opera, but you've got a bit of a reputation for Mr. Strictly.
Yeah, I know, I am.
The JSP of opera world, aren't you?
Well,
Why is that?
I just get a little frustrated with their structures sometimes of how they want to put opera across to the public.
Do you think it could get a much wider audience? I mean, after the Three Tenors, a lot of people got turned on to opera because they could see it in football stadiums.
Yeah.
And you and artists like you have crossed over and, you know, reached a much wider audience.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more that they can do. You know, there's especially for young singers, young classical singers, what they're doing now is they're putting them in these young artist programs and training them to be the stereotypical opera singer that you think of, the suit, the tie, you know, whatever. And instead they should be putting them out on the road in small productions, taking them to the Highlands and the Islands of Scotland, taking them around the tiny little villages where people can't get to see classical music, and giving them that experience.
And there is a difference, isn't there? I mean, there has been a crossover and more people, I think, enjoy operatic songs that they will hear, but in terms of actually paying their money and going to see an opera, I don't know if that crowd has changed that much. Though I mean, but is there
the opera, they're all still pretty.
It's a bit.
Yeah, you always think of it as quite snobby.
Yeah, you do. Well,
for the upper classes.
It was a real game changer for you, though, wasn't it, when you took the role of Jean Valjean in Les Mis on the 25th anniversary? I mean, that was.
Thank you.
I don't want to sort of get a sore point here, but why didn't we see you in the movie? Come on.
It is a sore point, isn't it?
Is it a sore point?
The album's really good, though. No, it's not a sore point at all. You know, I'm not a movie actor. I did audition for it.
Tell us about the audition, what happened?
Well, you know, I did audition for the movie, and I went in, I did a 2.5 hour audition for the director, and I sang the piece upside down, back to front, any way they wanted me to do it, you know, and I read the text and really felt like this was my opportunity. I'm going to break into movies, and this is a great role for me to do in a film for the first time, and I was on a high, and it was great, and I walked out the door and waved hello to Hugh Jackman, and
Second in.
I thought, okay, there we go.
You have actually ended up getting an acting part in one of my favourite dramas on telly that's coming out, which is Mr.
Yeah, Mr. Selfridge. Well, this wasn't there.
Oh, yes.
I'm not trying to play a shop assistant in the stockings
No.
department, are you? What are you playing?
When they offered me the role, I thought, this is great. I'm going to be in a really classic period drama. I'm going to get a scene like Mr. Darcy, who swims through the lake and gets out on the other side and he walks out, you know, really cool. Nothing like that. I was dressed as a tramp at Wilton's music club, waving a big flag at me, you know, it was like, but it was great opportunity. I loved every minute. I had a great time. The cast brought me in, embraced me, made me part of the team, and it was a real good experience for me. Loved
So
it.
we'll see that next year, really?
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
We'll look out for that, Alfie, and
Thank
also
you.
your album here, Trust. And I'm just looking down, some great songs on there, and I mean, I know it's just going to be brilliant.
Bless you,
Alfie Boe,
thank you.
everyone.
Cheers.